Kitty and I decided to walk Bedford Avenue for as long as we can since it is the longest street in Brooklyn. We only got to do about half, which is 5 miles out of the 10.2. We started off in the very familiar McCarran Park, watched a couple softball games. The World Cup was also happening, so a bunch of bars and restaurants just had TVs. So we got to watch all around the city and had free non-alcoholic beer. While in Williamsburg, Kitty decided to stop at some clothing shops like this vintage store. Also stopped by this new shop called Sarab, which was Middle Eastern gifts. Kept walking down Williamsburg under the Williamsburg Bridge, and this is when we start to see a bunch of murals like this one. My old apartment is right there. Missed this place because it has this great view of this building. At this point, we're passing the 278, and we pass through the Hasidic Jewish area of South Williamsburg. After about a mile of residential, we stopped by this 8-bit restaurant, which had a bunch of video games and stuff, which is pretty cool. Definitely made for kids, but just got water. Now we're in Bed-Stuy, and you can tell from all these hip-hop murals like this one, of Biggie Smalls, and this one. Also, there's a statue of President Grant. And at this point, the World Cup should have been finished, but they're at overtime with 0-0. So we took a little break again to watch that for a little bit. Then down by Prospect Heights area, we basically get to Prospect Park. At this point, we're basically at the halfway point of Bedford Avenue. So at this point, Kitty and I decide to call it a day. Here's her jumping around, and we decide to take the subway back to Greenpoint. Overall, we walked about 5 miles, which is only half of Bedford, so thanks for joining us. Maybe next time we'll finish the other half down to Coney Island.